This is Listen Lakeland, the show that keeps you up to date on all the things that make our city a great place to live, work, and play. Today's host built her career in communications and public relations after graduating from Florida Southern College. As the president and CEO of the Lakeland Chamber of Commerce, she's charged with making Lakeland a place where business can prosper through advocacy, professional development, and education. Please welcome your host, Amy Wiggins.
Welcome to the good life.
Hello, and thank you so much for joining us today. As you heard, I'm Amy Wiggins, and I am thrilled to be hosting our first Listen Lakeland show of 2025. Welcome to January. As you know, the show is an extension of Lakeland Vision, and for more than 2 decades, Lakeland Vision has been a voice for the citizens of Lakeland through a citizen-driven vision. Today, I am thrilled that 2 of my favorite people are joining me, and I know you think I say that all the time, but these folks and I have a shared history because we're going to talk about the YMCA here in Lakeland with Natalie Dyal and Chantelle Hrubes. Thank you so much, ladies, for joining me today. Welcome.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, of course.
Thank you, and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to everyone. That's right. When the team asked me if I would host for January, I said we have to come up with something that will help us kind of start our new year off the right way. And because we have that shared history and the YMCA, I thought there's so much happening right now at the Y, not only at the South Lakeland facility, but the North Lakeland branch and all of the childcare spaces and out at the Par 3. I just felt like this was a space for what people recognize about the Y, but maybe some hidden secrets about the Y and some behind the scenes. So we'll start with Natalie. Just tell us a quick second about who you are and what you do, and we'll get started.
Okay, my name is Natalie Dyal. I'm currently the CEO of the YMCA. I've been here for, almost 4 years now. It's been very exciting and fun, and I make sure that we stay open and running, and we're here for the community.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's hard to believe it's been 4 years. There's been a lot that has happened in that time, and not to mention the C word we won't talk about. We won't talk about the last 4 years in terms of any of that stuff. And Chantelle, tell us about you.
Well, hello, Chantelle Hrubes, and I've been with the Y for probably 2.5 years, and I was originally brought on as VP of Childcare, and my role has shifted a little bit as I now serve as the Chief Strategy Officer, and so
I bet there are a lot of organizations that would value having a chief strategy officer.
Sometimes I still have to wonder what exactly does a chief strategy officer do? It was a new role for me, something I was unfamiliar with, but man, have I enjoyed it.
Well, talk about strategy. There's certainly a lot of that to talk about when we get a little farther in, but I really want us to lay the groundwork. Why do we have a YMCA in Lakeland? Tell us how that happened, because I know, but I think there may be some folks in our listening audience that don't realize that this wasn't just a plop it down and folks will come and run on the treadmill, right? Tell us, Natalie, how did we get here?
Great question. The reason why the Y is here is because the community has asked for it. So back in 1965 we're going on 60 years.
It's amazing.
It is amazing. The community reached out and asked, how do we get a YMCA here? And a group of people came together and made it come into fruition. So, and it started off small.
Yes.
One location.
Yes.
So, and it has since grown to amazing things. So,
and even before locations, it was about the programs. And so when folks hear that there's a YMCA in this community, what does that mean? What are the things, we're kind of talking in terms of the vision, and we talk about that a lot on this show, and strong communities and what that looks like. But when we were going through it, the Y kind of ticks a lot of these boxes as we're going through. So tell us a little more about that.
Certainly. The Y is more than just a gym. People think, I can just go work out, but we're more than that. We have many programs ranging from youth sports to Leaders Club, which is a service club for our teens, to childcare. We also do VPK. We do after school care. We do holiday camps. We have senior classes. There's just so much that we offer to our community. I mean, and we provide childcare, but it's more than that. We keep families working. So that way those families can go to work and earn a living, because as we all know, everything's very expensive nowadays. Mm-hmm. So if we can keep those families working and hopefully have, some of them need two parents working, and they can send their children to a safe educational space, it's amazing. And our childcare programs have grown so much, especially under Chantelle's tutelage, to bring in quality childcare, that it's more than just babysitting.
Well, and we had you're smiling because I know this is where your heart is, and a space that you and I have had a lot of conversation, because in my professional role at the chamber, this is something that we recognize as the business community really is impacting our ability to grow our business community, but also to be a place where folks want to live and can afford to live. And so that impacts our employment base, right? So give us like I'll stop you if you go too far down the importance of childcare. But I really do want to bring that in, because that is an important component of what the YMCA does.
Absolutely. And I'm extremely passionate about childcare. And the reason is because it starts the foundation. Mm-hmm. And just like a house, you cannot build a house on sand. You've got to have a good, solid foundation. And so I believe that the answer to workforce issues, the answer to world peace, the answer to whatever it is early childhood. Because if we can set a solid foundation early on in childcare, then it leads to VPK. VPK leads to kindergarten readiness. Right. And then kindergarten readiness results in third grade, where children go from learning to read to reading to learn. Mm-hmm. And then third grade absolutely impacts high school graduation. Yes. So it's an 18-year cycle, right, but it's so important. And so that's the part about the why that I just absolutely love, that we get to provide quality services. We get to provide fun. A love of learning is another mm-hmm. key that is just so important. And if they can be somewhere where they're safe, parents know where they are, what they're doing, and then we can stay with them right. all the way through. And then they're with us in childcare, and then after school, and then sports, and then teens, and then and so it goes. So
right, and then eventually they're having their first job, coaching, swim lessons,
and that's the
working
neat
in
part.
after school care.
I think that as the why, we just have this opportunity, and we're a first employer mm-hmm. for so many young people. And so not only do we get to invest in the young children, but we get to share, hey, it's important to show up to work on time. It's important to put that phone away while you're dealing with this, or hey, you're in this classroom, or you're in a pool with a child. And so it's like Natalie said, it's more than just a gym. It's this ability to build and grow, and knowing that others and the community will gain from our ability to invest.
Yes. So I want to talk about community for just a second, because I think that's one of those, it can be a little bit of a buzzword, right? But it's something that the YMCA is literally built on. This is not, again, mm-hmm. Natalie, to your point, this is not just gym and swim, right? Mm-hmm. This is not just childcare. This is about building a community where the community that the YMCA is building is ultimately impacting out into the neighborhood around the Y and around the schools where childcare happens. And tell us a little bit about what that looks like and what the importance of that is, especially to your staff and ultimately your board of directors and the folks who make sure that the Y is successful here.
Exactly. Community is such a strong word that we have communities within the Y that then overflow outside the Y. So perfect example is our seniors. If somebody doesn't come for several weeks and they come back, everyone else is asking, where have you been? Are you okay? And you see that even with the children. If somebody's been out sick, they come back and they're like, I missed you, my friend. And just having that sense to then it flows out into the community. As I'm meeting people in the community, everyone has some type of Y story. My kids learned how to swim at the Y. I went to the Y. We have board members who were in our after school programs. I have leaders on my team that grew up at the Y. And just they're able to bring that, they understand that message, and they're able to share that with the community. And we're trying to meet the needs of the community and be flexible as the community is changing. So there's so many new people here in Lakeland that we're trying to figure out, what do they need? What do they want from us? How can we fill that void? We won't meet all the needs of everybody, but it's is there one need we can meet?
Right. And so much of that, I think, is just finding their space in the community, understanding what that means. And I saw you open the vision document, but one of the as you're talking, I'm thinking about this focus on strong and safe neighborhoods, and recognizing that the YMCA is its own neighborhood. And how powerful is that? How cool is that you have this incredible diversity of participants, from seniors to VPK, and everyone has a place and is able to find their way through this this kind of neighborhood, that then they take those YMCA values and those character development things, all those YMCA things that we talk about, into the community, and are just really good humans and upstanding citizens.
I want to, I'm so excited, everything you're saying, but one of the things that I think is so important when it comes to a safe environment is the passion that the YMCA has for drowning prevention.
Yes.
Drowning is the number one reason that children between the age of birth and 4 die in Florida.
Absolutely.
And it is 100% preventable.
Right.
And so one of the amazing programs that we have is called Kindergarten Learn to Swim. And we partner with the public schools, and they come, it's a 2-week program. We do some learning in the classroom, and then they actually come, and part of successfully completing means that they are able to exit the water unassisted.
Right.
It doesn't matter anything else. Like, it doesn't matter about
They're
your
not
breast.
future Olympians necessarily, but they are.
If they find themselves in water, can they get to the side and get out? And so that has been a phenomenal program, and we're hoping to reach about between 1,700 and 1,800 children this year.
Amazing. Because consider, every child has access to water, right? But not every child has access to those swim lessons. So what an incredible benefit to the community. It's been happening for decades. It is something that this local Y, the YMCA overall, and our board here has really dedicated themselves to.
And it's been a mission of our board at the YMCA. I mean, it's in our strategic plan to touch every kindergarten children, hopefully in Polk County. That's awesome. Over time. So in regards to swim lessons, just so people are aware, we do also offer adult swim lessons. We've found that a lot of the children that are afraid of water, it's because their parents don't know how to swim either. So we do offer adult swim lessons as well, so those parents can.
And that's another opportunity for those folks that have probably moved to Florida from perhaps places that weren't surrounded by quite as much water. It wasn't as much of an imperative. Well, I want to make sure that we have a little bit of time to talk about the expansion down south, because I say down south, it's like, in Lakeland, but it's okay. We all speak that vernacular. But the Lakeland Family YMCA, there's a lot going on. I see your eyes lighting up. Do you want to tell us a little bit about not just what, but the why behind it as well, since we're kind of starting a new year in a Y kind of space?
Coming out of COVID, it was a struggle for the YMCA, and looking at the facilities we had, we realized they were dated, old, not maintained well. And people were realizing that they had to take their health and wellness. It was more serious now.
Sure.
So we were starting to see an uptick in people coming to the YMCA. So we were running out of space. So
What
that
a
was
great problem to have.
great problem to have. So it was like, what can we do to meet the needs of the community? So the vision came to expand, and it was like, okay, how do we expand but also stay open? Mm-hmm. So it was designed in phases. It seems like in Lakeland, one of the biggest struggles is parking. So
We don't talk about parking on this show, Natalie.
So the first step was building new parking.
Yes.
We're now under construction for a 40,000 square foot field house, 2 stories. So it'll have new basketball courts, new indoor turf, indoor track, running track on the second floor, cardio deck, new weight room. I mean, it's amazing. We're also under construction in our childcare building. We're adding a new indoor playroom, 2 new classrooms, learning kitchen, dining room, getting up-to-date security in the building so it's even safer for our children. Mm-hmm. And then lastly, we'll be renovating the historic Y. So it's going to be an amazing, amazing facility. So hopefully by the mid-2026, we'll be completely done.
Oh my gosh, that seems like it's just tomorrow. But I know it feels like it's not to you all, but wow.
Yeah. So,
but then when you drive by and you're like, wow, that wall wasn't there yesterday.
Absolutely.
And it's there now. I'm like, maybe it's going to be done tomorrow.
I know. It's going slow but fast at the same time, but we are open. So yes. For those of the people in the community that have been asking, are you open? Yes, we are open.
Yes.
And in the month of January, our promotion for membership is pay the day. So if you sign up on the 1st, you pay $1 to join. If you sign up on the 15th, you pay $15. Nice. So it's an amazing thing. And if you are not ready to sign up, but you find a friend, we also have Refer a Friend where both of you can save a little bit on your membership. So we're offering all kinds we're trying to meet the needs of the community.
Yeah. I love it. I want to talk a little bit about the Learning Kitchen because that's something that is really special and unique and has just so many possibilities. And I don't know that it's something that I would have considered an integral part of a childcare space or even a YMCA. How did that come to be?
I think it was the vision of several people, but our former CEO, Elaine Thompson, was able to bring it to life and was just like, how can we get even more people? Her background in healthcare was like, how can we utilize this space for more than just cooking? Mm-hmm. So, and that's where it kind of came into play of how can we get, people aware of nutrition and wellness, even the children, how can we get them to learn about the foods that they're putting in their body?
Right. So so is it possible that there's a learning garden in the future too?
You never know. It's all one idea away, right? From making it happen. And that's where my job comes in a little bit as strategic officer is the ability to partner. Mm-hmm. And so making things happen, but more importantly, looking at that learning kitchen and going, okay, can we partner with Lakeland Regional and have a diabetes class? Can we partner with, I feel like the loss of aprons in our community, that was just such a neat opportunity.
Sure.
But now we have that. And can we do gingerbread houses at Christmas time? Can we teach children how to make a peanut butter jelly sandwich? Right. So it just, there's so many options and so many opportunities with that. So I'm excited to see where it can take us. But the setup is going to be just great for everyone, family, individuals, children, all of it.
And I think to come back to your comments about people turning their focus on to not just not just physical wellness, but overall wellness, and recognizing that that's a space, again, that the YMCA really can excel. You've got the space where you can jump on the treadmill or do the weight training, and at the same time, look at the amazing opportunities that are going to exist in the very near future for you to understand maybe how to manage your diabetes a little more intentionally, and to teach your kids how to eat healthy. And I'm going to root for the garden,
or how to go to Publix and shop smart,
right?
So that the Oreos don't land in your basket, but
Even when they're BOGO,
apples maybe. Apples maybe make it.
But it's when you talk about wellness, it's more than just physical wellness. It's also mental wellness, social wellness, those kinds of things as well. So we'll have places where people can just, they can just, recharge on their own. We have the social aspect with being able to see your friends at the YMCA, regardless of ages. I mean, it's amazing the type of people that are connecting, where in the weight room, you have a teenager and a senior working out together.
Right.
They're helping each other. They're spotting each other. Where else would you see that?
Yeah, it doesn't happen very often. And I think what's neat about the staff at the Y is that they're very intentional about encouraging that. And then providing resources to make sure that those connections continue to expand, which is something, again, to come back to your comment about the passion of the staff and the YMCA. It's more than just a job for most folks who work there. I want to talk a little bit more about the mental well-being part of things, because it is about social, and I think that's something that we as a community are really learning how to talk about and how to embrace. So tell us about how the YMCA is engaging in that space.
We are hoping that with our new facilities, we'll be able to do more because we do have limited space. But like our senior classes, a group of them eat lunch after class. Nice. They're meeting before class. They're working out together. So, I mean, in that regards, we have that. We also do, our VBK will come do trick-or-treating. So there's also that social aspect there. Our teens, they're coming and meeting. They're working out together from everywhere across Lakeland. We have Leaders Club as well, where teens are coming to do service work. And it's just, sometimes they're just coming to hang out. They just want a safe place to just
be.
And if I can just add to that as well, part of the curriculum that we use in our childcare space, it talks about bullying, and we're really focused on giving the young people that are in our community, in our groups, giving them some skills on like, what do you do if you're being bullied? What should you say? Giving them some skills on, what does that look like when you're not having a good day? Or what does it look like when you need a little bit of help? And making sure that there's a trusted relationship between the adult staff member, college student, whoever it is, and the young children, because that is just so, from a trauma perspective too, just having healthy relationships is half the battle.
That's awesome.
Yeah. The other thing I want to highlight is at our Par 3 golf course, we use the First Tee curriculum. And in that curriculum, they are teaching these young children, young adults, simple things as, how do you shake somebody's hand? How do you look them in the eye? We have a lot of technology in today's day and age, and at the Y, we try to minimize our children to not utilize it as much. So we want them to be kids, and they're having that human interaction, and that is so important nowadays for that. Mental health break.
Well, and the other part about the Par 3 and the First Tee curriculum is that those who are not golfers may not recognize that golf is a game of self-control, of honesty. It is a self-regulated game, and that's another reason why it's such an important teaching tool for those young adults to be able to.
It's giving them skills.
Yes.
It like exposing us all to things that we haven't thought of, or new things that just new concepts for us to hey, this is and our coaches are phenomenal.
Absolutely.
The coaches that we have.
It just lines with the YMCA vision so well that we're using, those simple things across all of our locations.
So we talked about the Lakeland Family YMCA. We talked a minute about the Par 3. And, one of the things that I think is so poignant about that is those programs are happening and the community is happening in different settings. It could be about golf. It could be about indoor soccer. It could be about the aerobics class or the group fitness class, or childcare. Tell us a little bit about the Fontaine Gills YMCA, because we haven't mentioned that one yet.
The Fontaine Gills YMCA is located on Sleepy Hill. For those of you that like landmarks, if you go past the mall on 98 at the Chick-fil-A, make a left, and it's down there on the right by Sleepy Hill Elementary School. It's a little bit smaller footprint, but it offers just as much as the South Side. The one nice thing that I love out there is they have a gorgeous outside walking track.
Oh, beautiful.
It's amazing.
It's just kind of set back in there. It's unexpected to get back in
there.
It
is very unexpected. Like I said, it's a smaller footprint, but it's a little more intimate, which I like. It's for those of us that don't want to be in front of like 100 people working out. You just want to be by yourself. They do have that. So the property is gorgeous if you just want to be outside. The pool is open from mid-April through October. It's outdoors, gorgeous. Chantelle, what am I missing?
I will say we had a community day, and so while we don't have a garden to grow your own food in, we do have a prayer garden that has just been established there. Thanks to a partnership that came in and said, "Hey, we would love to add something like this." So,
neat.
So that's pretty neat there. We do also offer after school programming and youth sports out of that location, and we are hoping that eventually good things and bigger things will happen on that side because of its quick access to I-4 and just the expansion that is happening out on the north side. So we're hoping that after what's happening on the south side, we will hopefully head to the north side and do some expansions there as well.
That's super exciting. So tell us if people have been listening and they're just inspired to want to participate, give back, get excited about the YMCA. What are some volunteer opportunities and ways that people can get engaged?
We have so many volunteer opportunities.
We don't have so many times.
I know. We have, we're always looking for coaches for our youth sports program.
Yes.
We look for volunteers to possibly give tours at the YMCA, help us at the front desk. Y Reads. We have a wonderful program with Y Reads, an initiative that we're trying to help students get to reading level that are below reading level.
Okay.
So that's a wonderful program that we are working at Winston Elementary and Griffin Elementary. We're
always needing volunteers for those programs.
And I would imagine that's not difficult. It's just something that requires a little bit of time and a little bit of care and concern.
Less than 5 hours a week.
Wow.
Something simple where you're just really coming and reading and giving some one-on-one
Very cool.
Yeah.
And so when people want to find out more about how they can volunteer and how they can get engaged, where do they go?
They can come to any of our YMCAs, and at the front desk, they'll be more than happy to help them answer questions. There is an application they do have to fill out to get started, and then we will pass it along to the appropriate director.
Fabulous.
That will set up a time to meet with them.
I think it's important that we do have to say that one of the things about the YMCA is that don't let the financial impact of membership stop you from knocking on our door, because we do provide a sliding scale fee, and we will try everything in our ability to not, we will not turn people away.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Thank you both so much for joining us today. This has been a fun conversation for me because I'm a YMCA nerd. I also want to thank everyone for tuning in today to Listen Lakeland. Your feedback is encouraged. Please visit lakelandvision.org to share your thoughts on today's program. We'll look forward to seeing you again in February. Thank you.
I said, welcome to the good life.
Listen Lakeland is brought to you as a collaborative project between Lakeland Vision, the City of Lakeland, and Hall Communications, a community working together to provide an exceptional quality of life. Want to watch the show? Check out the video version at lakelandvision.org. Thank you for being with us.